Almighty God, even the I Am, hath spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun to the going down thereof. Out of Zion the perfection of beauty God hath shined. Our God shall come and shall not keep silent. A fire shall devour before him, and he shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself, Selah. Hear, O my people, I will speak. O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thine house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I will not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. I will eat the flesh of bulls and drink the blood of goats. Excuse me. Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instructions, and casteth my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hath brought partakers with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceits. Thou sittest and speaketh against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. These things have thou done, I have kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, that ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that order his conversation aright will I show the salvation of Yahweh. Psalms chapter 50. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes. Such a powerful psalm. Such a powerful psalm. God's not playing with us. We take him as a joke because it's been so long. Each generation, 49 years, each generation, each jubilee. We take God as a joke because he hides his face. We take God as a joke because we don't see him working in our life. All we see is our hand doing our own thing. This is all we see. We have to find our way back to God from whence we came. And this is the same thing that one of the great comedians said. He said that when you come out the womb, just as water, the rain, comes from the ocean, it comes from the water, evaporated in the sky, it comes down as the dew and the rain on the ground. It keeps going until it gets down to the underground wells, and it keeps going until it finds its way back from whence it came, even to the oceans and the big bodies of water. The same thing with the spirits that come in the flesh from God, whom he had breathed the breath of life. You find yourself coming out of a woman's womb from the seed of a man. Then you are confused with who you are and where you're going and what happened, and finally by some glimmer of hope, you find out that there is a God somewhere. But some of you love your ways and your sin so much that you say, oh, this is far-fetched. I'm going to enjoy myself. Are you really? Are drugs inhabiting your life and that you feel like you're having fun? Is your sex life such that you feel that that's fulfillment of you? Or your thievery and that you gain power by manipulating others with the money that you've accumulated over time, and you're boasting of the little bit that you have. You can buy a little car, a little house, or whatever this is, and soon to die, only to leave it. Will you return back to that God, to that source from which you came? But I don't believe in that. No, you don't. You really don't. You've been so manipulated by Deuteronomy chapter 28, you can't find your way back. You've been so manipulated by the flood of thousands of years ago, you can't find your way back. When your ancestors tore away from the creator of all mankind, and even Israel, who said, we don't want him no more. We want a man. We want a king. So he gave you a king. And the king tore up your country, your nation, and the people that you are. He gave you a man who exacted all his lust upon you, and there was nothing you can do to thwart his lust toward you because of those who obeyed his every word, calling that in their service to God. Who do you serve? Are you finding your way back to the Most High? Because all spirits come from him. He is the Father of spirits. Yes, he's the creator of spirits. That would be a Greek terminology, Father. He's the creator of all spirits. The creator of all spirits. Will we go back to our creator? It depends. In other words, if we are cleansed, if we come back, it's not that he won't let us in, as the comedian says, but he won't let us in like we are. Yes, from a baby to a baby. In other words, clean. A child is clean, and as you go in, you can't carry none of this stuff that you've accumulated on earth with you. It's not gonna work. But he inhabits the praise of his anointed. And with that, we're in 2 Samuel chapter 20, for those of you as you prepare. And we want to say that, yes, all praises to the Most High, yes, and we also thank God for those of you that have been with us from the beginning, those of you that have been with us here and there's about, and those of you who have just subscribed. And we thank God for those of you who are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they are. All praises to him who inhabits all things. Yes, we're in the book of 2 Samuel and chapter 20. Getting close to the end of this beautiful book. Yes, it's really a continuation of the book of Judges, as we always have said. Now, we know that in the last chapter we witnessed that, as far as these words in the narrative, that Judah and Israel had a problem. They had a problem before even Saul, before Samuel, even Solomon came on the scene. Before Solomon was elected, they had a problem. This evil spirit, this thing that God knew he was going to do, because you can't obey man. How in the world are you going to obey God? How are you going to put man before God? God let them go in their idolatry. They want something they could touch, they could see, they could feel. So we want a king like everybody else, and we want a God that we can see. This is why you got your Jesus, your Yahushua, your Yahuwah, or Husha, whatever. But either way, you were set up for the kill, brother, sister. You were set up for it. Oh, Deuteronomy chapter 28. Read it. How God set your butt up. Your churches, your major religions, all this stuff to push you away with you. I don't desire all this. You must praise God and order your steps aright according to commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws. This was the deal from all the way back after Adam was created and he fell. There was laws, ordinance, statutes, and they carried over even to where men would not keep them. So he designed himself a special people, and those special people came from Abraham, out of the loins of Abraham, out of the loins which went from the loins of Abraham to the loins of Isaac, and from Isaac, from his loins to the loins of Jacob. Esau really was never in the picture, to tell you the truth. No, he wasn't. God already knew what Esau was going to do because he was Esau. See, this God is holy. This God is righteous. This God, he deals with his man. He's just like you would have your R&D. Just like every man that cometh through the matrix or through the womb of a woman. Every woman that comes through the womb of a woman, God begins to see. The R&D is there. Would this one be the one? Would this one be the one I can show myself strong in? Would this be the one that I can cause to shine in righteousness? Don't mean you have to act like a sissy or a punk or whatever. It don't mean you have to act that. But meekness. Watch God in all these things that he have done. Even the thing that really caught me was when he said, Samuel, they don't reject you. They don't reject you. Give them what they want. Give them what they want. They rejected me. Meek. He could have just tore them apart and buried them underground. He could have sent fire from heaven or whatever and just die away with you. But no, he's meekness and all that he is. Give them what they want. But he also had a plan in that. And it wasn't Joesus. He had the plan all the way back from the book of Enoch. Oh, my God, that is something else. But nevertheless, let's go ahead. And there happened to be a man of Belial, that wicked man, whose name was Sheba, son of Bichri, a Benjamite. He blew the trumpet and said, we have no part in David. Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse, every man to his tent. Now, would he have said that we have no part in God, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Tata and Zambis, and Nini Nanini, Ya Allah? Would he have said that? But with a man whom Israel has chosen as king, they wanted a man over God. They wanted an idol. They wanted someone that they could, materialistic thing in their minds. God give them this delusion. Take it. It's going to turn you backwards. And you're going to see these things. So every man of Israel went up after David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave to their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. So Israel, they were divided right there. Look how they divided. Every man of Israel went up from after they left David and followed Sheba. It was being split before Solomon. That's why it's so important you read this word. But the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. Judah, there they go, and Benjamin or whatever. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women of his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, but them he put in ward and fed them, but went not unto them, because they were contaminated by his son Absalom. Absalom lined them up and had sex with every one of them. So they were shut up. He raped them, really, to tell you the truth, to be point blank with them. Absalom went against their will. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. But David was being meek, that he did not despise them, but he just, I can't do it. I can't go behind. My son went behind me and defiled my wives. I cannot even touch them anymore. Living in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, Assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. So Amson went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. And David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Here he is, Israel and Judah split. It was split even during the reign of David. They tried to come together to do us more harm than did Absalom. Take you thy Lord's servants, or should I say, thy king's servants, and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men. These were the elite of Judah. And the Cherethites and the Pelethites and all the mighty men. And they went out of Jerusalem and pursued after Sheba the son of Bichri. And when they were at the great stone which is at Gibeon, which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them in Joab's garment that he had put. Note that. Gibeon. The great stone which is at Gibeon. Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he put on was girded unto him, and it was upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof, as he went forth, and it fell out. And Joab said to Amasa, art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amson by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. In other words, just caught his beard and grabbed it and kissed him. But Amson took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand, and so he smote him therewith in the 5th rib. So here's Amasa, he deleted Joab and shed out his bowels. And this is one of the things that happens when we are demised, or maybe demised in battle. Our bowels, if we have anything in them, will come out. What's in them will come out involuntarily. Tells you something about constipation. But either way, now, just a little something funny, but either way, and shed his bowels to the ground and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba son of Bichri. And one of Joab's men stood by him and said, he that favoreth Joab and he that is for David, let him go after Joab. And Amasa wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. And when the man saw that all the people stood still, he removed Amasa out of the highway into the field and cast a cloth upon him. And when he saw that everyone that came by him stood still, then he was removed out of the highway, and all the people went on after Joab to pursue after Sheba son of Bichri. I mean, here's this mess of blood and dung that come out of this man, and he's left there in the middle of the road to wallow in it. Stench and that copperish smell of blood. Not good. And that was fresh. And after it set some time, it would even be worse. Now, and he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel and to Bethmach, and all the Berites, and they were gathered together and went also after him. And they came and besieged him in Abel at Bethmach, and they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench. And all the people that were there with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Now here comes the good part for you women. I mean, sometimes you have to think about your own children, your own husbands, and your own families, your brothers, your sisters. Why should we perish? Then a wise woman, she was wise because of this, cried out of the city, hear, I say, I pray you unto Joab, come near hither, that I might speak with you. Then he was come near unto her, and the woman said, art thou Joab? And he answered, I am he. And she said unto him, Hear the words of thine handmaid, a humble woman. And he answered her, I do hear. Speak, 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 speak. And she spake, saying, they were wont to speak in old times, saying, they shall surely ask counsel at Abel, so that they ended the matter. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. In other words, I worship God. I do these things that are right before the Most High. So we understand that from David's thing with Bathsheba, Israel was already split between what they call the 10 tribes and the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. Already split. Some of you did not see this. You read it and read it and read it and did not see it. David did this. It just didn't materialize the way you see it until after Solomon died. Israel was already on his way out. And then you glorify. Yes, he's anointed. He was anointed to be king. But God teach you a lesson and then blinded you from the truth of the whole matter. Israelite. You're blind. All the way blind and cannot see. This is God's doing. He's brought this evil on you. God is not evil. But the evil is that you were blind, and that blindness was brought on you by God because of your continual affair with sin. Transgression against the law, statutes, covenants, and commandments of the Most High and his ordinances. Yes. Let us continue. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. Thou seekest to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why wilt thou swallow up the inheritance of Yahweh? She was caring about her people. How many women care about their people? How many women care? You've been so blinded that all you think about is that I had this for this man. I did this for... What about your community? What about your tribe? What about your people? Not just your color, but just your people, your nationality, your tribe, whoever you are. What about you? Yeah, sometimes you have preachers and people out there that will probably steal bits and pieces of what you say and then preach it to the congregation or whatever. I got people like that. But either way, I laugh because they're going to slip up and mess up. But either way, then she spake, saying, in verse 20, and Joab answered and said, far be from me, that I should swallow up or destroy. Verse 21. The matter is not so, but a man out of Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri, by name, have lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. See, they idolized David. You think God liked that? God just, I'll deal with David then. Okay. They idolized David. All of them because, he's our savior. He's this, he's that. He was an idol, one that sits beside God. Yes. This is why we must guard against all idolatry. It doesn't matter about David. It matters about our relationship with the Most High. Though he be king or whatever, that was them. But who is the King of Kings? We ain't talking about no Lord or Lord King. Who's the creator, even above a king? Even so, the Most High, Yahweh, Yahuwah, yes, and whatever language you have that you call him in. Because the word Yah means I am, as far as I know in English. But the other ones, Hua, Way, and all these other, what does they mean? See, you look those up. What does the suffix mean? We know what Yah means, but what does the suffix Way and Hua and Hawa, Awa? What does these things mean? Nisi, Yah Nisi. All these things are suffixes. But I am that I am is what he said to Moses. Then they tried to flip the script and said Jehovah. Hallelujah. For your confusion, my dear. Yes, for your confusion. Now, she says now, this matter is not so. I'm in verse 21. But a man out of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. Now this man who doesn't know that his people has elected an idol, which is of flesh, David. And hopefully God have chosen this guy who's to be idolized of Israel and all his line, even all the way down to what you call your Isis, to draw them backward because they rejected the Most High. All the way in the book of Judges, they have rejected the Most High and chose to follow and only use God. They have seen the miracles. They've seen all the mighty deeds of the Most High and even heard with the ears. Some of them sing of the eyes, and yet they still reject God. And you say you can do that? No, you can't. Take this, man. When your mother or your father gives you a new car, you go and tear it up. Woman, you get a man. He does all he can, and then you get bored. Contentment and godliness. To do those things is godliness means to do those things like God. We're not talking. See, you giving all kind of. You giving godliness, you giving love, you giving these all kind of definitions. But there's only one definition. Love is the law, and law is love. Because love is fair. The Greeks are giving you all kind of confusion. The same thing with godliness. Godliness is only being like God. How do we know how to be like God? Because God is love. And what is love? Love is the law, and law is the love. Not what the Greeks tell you. They'll tell you one thing, and then you talk to an American, he'll tell you another thing. You talk to an African, he'll tell you another thing. You talk to a German, love is this and love is that. Love is when I lay down in the bed with another man's wife. Is that love? Nah. That's a fool. But either way, let us continue. I need to quit. I can keep going, but either way, let me stop right here and try to continue what I have. He says, even King David in verse 21, deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, behold, his head shall be thrown down over the wall. Now, at least one thing he knew is to tell the truth. Just like I was listening to one woman, he says, are you lying? She said, we don't believe in lying. There's no honor in lying. If I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it the best of my ability. But either way, nevertheless. And the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom. She was letting them know what's going to happen. And they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri. Not the son of Bichri's wife. Not an egg that a seed impregnates and it becomes a baby out of a woman. It comes from a man's seed. The seed of Bichri, which was named Sheba. Whatever his mother was, that was just his mother. And it cast out to Joab, and he blew the trumpet. And they retired from the city, and every man to his tent, and Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. In other words, the people just says, let's get rid of him. It's not nothing for the one, the many to die for the one. And this is the way many countries are, governments are. The people die for the one corporation, the one leader, the one instead of the leader, and the armies dying for the people which supplies the leaders and the army. How backwards can we be? That's not what you can do for your government. You ain't doing it for the people. If they're not for the people, how are you doing it for your government? For the people chooses the government. The people agrees upon the laws of the government. Not the government. That's a dictatorship. Play with you with words. But either way, it says, now Joab was all over the host of Israel, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Cherites and over the Pelethites. And Adoram was over the tribute. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Heliud, was recorder. He recorded all these things. And Shiva was scribe. He read the historical recorder. And Zadok and Abiathar were the priest. Now these things, the king, that which the recorder wrote and that which the scribe wrote, the king would review daily. We shall see this. And Adar also, the Jediite, was chief ruler about David. So David was one that nobody needs to record God. God recorded himself in that he gave you his commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws. Nobody needed to. God didn't need your wife, your women, your girls, or nothing like. He didn't need nothing like that. God sublimated authority, that he give authority to captains of tens, captains of hundreds, captains of thousands, and 10,000, even in that time, even up to Moses or one of the high priests of the Davidical order. And he would hear from God and tell the captains what thus saith the Most High, and that was it. But the people could not trust that. They wanted to trust the word of a man, not of a Levite. Just as the angelic hosts were given authority and given instructions, so were the Levites, so in heaven as it was on earth. But that was rejected. We want an idol. We want a man. We want somebody that we can see, that we can control, we can handle, or we can complain to and not be afraid of the fire by night and the cloud by day. For what? The fear is only your sin. If only your potential in your heart to want to do that which is wrong, that's where the fear is. But when God is your friend and when God is your love and your first love, that fire by day and that cloud by night would only mean peace to you, because you know whatever he has planned for you, he still has you. And if we look at God as a fair creator, we would get out of this thing of our having other gods, even men, before him. And then we will have peace.
Walk with me.